This afternoon, a new warning from health officials. Do your research before you get a COVID-19 test, as some locations may not be qualified to give you accurate results. Welcome, everyone, to The 4 on this Monday afternoon. I'm Heather Holmes.
And I'm Alex Savage. As Omicron cases surge, the demand for testing is through the roof right now. But health experts are warning everyone to be careful which sites they go to for testing. KTVU's Christian Captain joining us now from San Francisco's Mission District. And Christian, city health officials have already sent out a warning about unauthorized sites like the one you found today.
Yeah, that's right. For hours, there was a COVID testing site that was a pop-up site right here today. When we checked out their licensing and certification, it was out of date. Now, the person who was staffing that site directed me to call a supervisor from Crestview Clinical Labs. When we called that woman, as soon as I identified who I was and where I was from, she hung up on me. Since at least last week, Bob Soto has been setting up this testing tent at the corner of 18th and Dolores Streets, and within minutes, lines of people wanting COVID tests show up. Many of those patients unaware that this site is not operating with the proper licensing and certification, a problem Crestview Clinical Laboratories argues does not endanger patients.
And should your patients at all be concerned?
No, I don't know.
Soto blames the out-of-date permits on a supervisor who sent him to this location without the proper certification.
It appears that the permits are expired or out of date, because that one is...
That one's out of date. I think that one's okay. I'll point that out because we found that out today. Okay. But I'll point it out to her, and then I'll get new ones, I think, tomorrow.
We tried calling that supervisor, who hung up on the phone as soon as I told her who I was. San Francisco's Department of Public Health has been warning that with the increase in demand for COVID testing, unlicensed pop-up sites are showing up in the city. Quote, "We are aware of groups offering COVID-19 testing in the city that do not appear to have the appropriate permits and licensing to set up testing stations. People should use caution and not use testing sites that seem too good to be true because they may not be trustworthy." So far, the health department has not said if there's any kind of enforcement effort to stop unlicensed vendors from providing tests. Patients that stopped at this location said the urgency of testing right now has them unconcerned that the vendor that now has their private medical information is currently unlicensed.
I have Kaiser, but they ran out of appointments, and I happened to drive by, and this worked out perfect for me.
And it doesn't bother you that their licensing appears to be out of date or expired?
No, I think they're still medical professionals.
At the same time, the Department of Public Health says the crush and demand for testing, coupled with staffing shortages due to the Omicron variant, means the city has to reduce the overall number of tests it can process. The city says it's looking to reduce testing by about 4%, or 250 tests out of 6,000. Practically what that means is the city will be operating on limited hours at 4 testing sites for a day or two to reduce the overall number of tests. We're live in San Francisco. Christian Captain, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
And Christian, for the folks setting up these unauthorized testing sites, what is the end game here? Why have they decided to do this?
Well, we're trying to get to the bottom of that. Presumably, they're trying to continue these testing and turn these tests in. The gentleman with whom I spoke today said that the tests were going to be processed. He said that the tests were accurate and that he seemed to indicate that he felt he was doing a civic duty by coming out here and offering a service that people said that they needed. But again, you got to keep in mind that if they're unlicensed, you are turning over private medical information. You're also turning over personal information, including your email address and your phone number to this company so that they can contact you with these results, because these are PCR tests, so the tests have to be performed and then they have to notify the patient at some point in time. So you're not only turning over that medical information to them, you're also turning over personal information as well.
All right, but they are not charging people to have these tests done, right?
They were not charging at the site, no.
All right, Christian Captain live in San Francisco. Thank you.